All right, everyone, we are going to start. Just 1 second. All right. So Mother's Day is almost here, and I know for so many of us empaths and sensitives, this can be a really tricky day for us, as it can be a magnet for old childhood wounds, maybe some family tension, and just the energetic overwhelm that this day can bring. So whether you had a challenging relationship with your mother, or maybe you had a really good relationship with your mother, you may still feel overwhelmed with all the emotions and the energies that come together as this day is celebrated. And if you've been feeling this way, I want you to know that you're not alone. Many of my clients have been feeling this way. And I was recently talking to one, and she was telling me how on one Mother's Day years ago, she had spent all month trying to figure out and pick the perfect gift for her mother, organizing the Mother's Day brunch, and then she was trying to anticipate everyone's needs so that way the day could go smoothly. But the moment she said she actually sat down, she felt a wave of sadness hit her. She knew it wasn't hers. And when she tried to mention it to her mother, she was met with, "Oh, there you go again. You're being too sensitive, and don't ruin the day." And in that moment, she told me she felt like a little kid again. The little kid who was always told that her feelings were wrong or too much in some way. And I want you to drop me a yes in the comments if you've ever been told that maybe you were too sensitive or that your feelings were too much. Because if you can relate to this, if you have ever felt like your sensitivity was more of a burden than a gift, then I want you to know that this live is especially for you. But before we get started, I did want to say hi and welcome. I'm Jennifer. I'm an Ascension Guide, and I work with empaths and sensitives. And I do this using multiple healing modalities. So I love to use EFT tapping, inner child work, and spiritual practices to help you feel safe in your sensitivity instead of feeling overwhelmed by it. And when you learn how to work with it properly, it becomes one of the most beautiful gifts that you can share with the world. And so today we're not just talking about Mother's Day. I'm going to give you a 3-pillar reparenting framework, that will change how you view your childhood wounds forever. And if you stay into the end, you'll know exactly how to walk into any family situation, or maybe even just a high-pressure day, feeling more grounded and protected and fully validated by the most important person in your life, which is you. But before we dive into this, if this message is already resonating with you, I'm going to ask that you please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, click that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I go live. My goal here really is to build a sanctuary for empaths and sensitives. And if you're really ready to stop guessing and start healing your own specific blocks, I do offer a limited number of one-to-one mentorships. I'll put the link in the comments and in the description, and then we can see if we're fit to work together. So I always love to have a question. So my question for you today is, as a child, what emotion did you feel most around your mother? When you think about it, did you tend to feel happy? So we could say like A is happy, B sad, C anger, D fear, E other. Whoever you want to, you can put a letter or you can put the word. But let me know, how did you feel most around your mother? This is the first part of awareness or acknowledgement of your own inner child. All right, and while you're going ahead and commenting, I'm going to go ahead and go into the content today. So I wanted us to talk about why Mother's Day is so triggering for us as empaths and sensitives, and I wanted to give you my 3-pillar framework to help you reparent yourself today. So why does Mother's Day feel so hard, right? Mother's Day, once again, is this day of celebration. It can feel like such a minefield for us empaths and sensitives. And it really is because Mother's Day is that annual meeting of the inner child. You see, when we were young, our sensitivity wasn't necessarily mirrored back to us. It wasn't mirrored back as a strength, I should say. And so we learned to hide it or to suppress it. We learn to be chameleons in our own family. But today, I encourage you to stop hiding. So now let's talk about the 3-pillar framework and how to really help you reparent your own inner child. The first pillar is mirroring. As children, we learn by looking at our parents. And if a sensitive child tells her mother or her parent, "I'm scared, the energy in this room doesn't feel safe," or "it feels heavy," and then the parent says back something like, "Don't be silly, you're fine," then the child learns to distrust their own intuition. And so I invite you to take a moment right now and just tune in, and I want you to tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you trust your own intuition? With 1 being that you don't, and 10 being that you fully do trust your intuition. I think this is an important point for you to start to recognize where you are on this scale. And I do want you to know that in order to reparent yourself, you must become your own mirror. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, instead of saying, "I shouldn't feel this way," I want you to envision your own inner child. And I want you to tell them, "I see you and I hear you. And I see that you are feeling the weight of the room, and you are allowed to feel that." I want you to just notice what will happen to your inner child as you talk to them in that way. Because as you do this, you are giving your inner child the validation they were starved of when they were younger. Which brings us to our second pillar. The second pillar is about protection. You know, a parent's job is to protect their child. And as an adult, empath, or sensitive soul, you are now the guardian of your own energy. And if you're heading into a Mother's Day brunch or maybe just a difficult phone call, you really need to build, this safe room internally within yourself. I like to say within the garden of your heart. So here's a visualization practice for you. I want you to visualize a golden light surrounding your inner child. Just like in this photo here, this bubble of golden light. I want you to tell your inner child, "I'm the adult now. I will handle the difficult conversations. You just stay safe here." And just allow that to happen. When you do this, you are taking the emotional management job off the child's shoulders. So off your inner child's shoulders, and you're putting it back onto your adult self. Now, for some of you, you might feel like you're not strong enough to do this. Maybe you haven't done the inner work. And if that is you, then I do encourage you to reach out so that you can become the empowered empath or sensitive soul that you were meant to be. Which brings us to our third pillar. Our third pillar is really about renaming our gift. I want you to see words or phrases like too sensitive as being code for highly perceptive. Or maybe the words too emotional being code for deeply compassionate. So I have a writing practice for you. I want you to take a piece of paper out, and I want you to write down every negative label you've ever been given. And then next to it, I want you to write the soul truth. So to give you an example, maybe on the old label side, you write "cries too much." But on the soul truth side, you write something like, "I have a heart that's capable of immense healing." And as you do this journaling exercise, I want you to know that you are retraining your own brain. You're retraining yourself to see your sensitivity as a high-level skill and not just a personality flaw. All right, I know we've covered a lot today, from the mirror of validation to renaming your gifts. Remember, Mother's Day can be about honoring all the maternal figures in your life, but it must also be about honoring the mothering you do for yourself every single day. So if you did find this helpful, once again, please subscribe and share this video with a fellow empath or sensitive friend who really needs to hear it. And if you are tired of doing this alone and you want to take a deep dive into knowing your specific triggers, healing your inner child, and really loving and embracing your authentic self, then once again, I invite you to book a one-to-one consult with me. The link will be in the description of this video, and I really only take about 3 new clients a month to ensure that I can give you my full energetic presence. Let's make this the year that you finally feel at home in your skin. As always, I thank you so much for spending your time and energy with me, and I'm sending you so much love from my heart to yours. And I'll see you on the next live. Bye, everyone.